Hello, SNA Assassinator. Sorry if that took a bit of a while, but I was trying to fix up a new video because the first one, I guess, ran its limits. I guess you could say, even though it could have, it could have stayed on for like another 10 or 15 minutes, but none of that matters. I made the second clip of the AEW and the AEW what's that Dynamite review video on July 10th, 2024. And that's what I was saying because I got interrupted. This is where we got Chris Jericho beat Samoa Joe in this match by a knockout by running him right into the wall with him on the forklift by driving right through it into another room. But let me know in the comments below, do you think this match deserves a top spot? Which I would say the third place spot for sure. Number 3, like over the Mariah May versus Will Nightingale and the Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page match. And we also got a match that will probably get the 4th place spot, even though these were like the only 4 matches, but they still they did great in their matches, and they had a fair balance of matches and segments. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got a fatal 4-way match between Claudio Castagnoli, Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle Fletcher, and what's his name? The Bastard Pack. That's who it was. That was the 4th guy. But yeah, let me tell you that this match was a massive banger, and I was like, wow, it's very rare to see fatal 4-way matches in wrestling these days. Like they don't use sparingly, like for an angle, like whether if it's like because it's a 4-way, like a rare 4-way feud, or maybe a more contenders match for an AEW or WWE title shot, like at a number one contenders match, which it was for the international championship for AEW All In in Will Ospreay's home country of England. And yeah, next week we'll be seeing MJF taking on Ospreay, and I'm gonna ask you guys about that question later on after I announce who was the winner of this match. But let's start off with Tomohiro Ishii and Claudio Castagnoli start hitting some strikes on each other. Where Tomohiro hit the elbows, Claudio go for a European uppercut. Where Claudio was like I feel you. Like, you need to start hitting more harder than that. This is where Tomohiro didn't hit the forearm strike, but he still elbow strike. I mean, Claudio still did not feel anything. He went to the right side or kicked him in the gut. He had to go over to the right side. He go for a shoulder tackle, but Ishii said, like, same goes to me. You cannot bring me down. This is where he went to the left side, hit the shoulder tackle onto Claudio. Claudio's like, you got to do more better than that. This is where he got Kyle Fletcher had enough of this. This is where he tried to go for a double close on both men. I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. These two guys are unintimidating. Like, even if you try to make them intimidated, for some reason, like, they will still not. Even if you put a gun on their head, they're not going to care about that or you. But anyway, this is where we got a bottom corner rope. This is where he tried going for a double maneuver, which I don't think it was a smart idea because compared to him, he's like a small child. This is where he gets shoulder tackle immediately once he charged right towards him, and he gets double clothesline out of the ring by the New Japan Pro Wrestler and the former Ring of Honor World Champion. This is where then they continue to start hitting some strikes to each other, playing wrestling tennis. And yeah, that never gets old in professional wrestling, with both men just hitting each other with their best shot in their face into each other's faces. This is where we got Claudio tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where we got Tomohiro Ishii then hit a big elbow strike once he took out of the way. This is where we got Pac and go for the upper right side. This is where Pac's like, turn around, Ishii. This is where then he hits a middle drop kick, taking on the Stone Pitbull. This is where then Pac said, like, you're mine now. This is where he went to the bottom rope. This is where he tried to go for a dive. He probably would have been successful if it wasn't for Kyle Fletcher messing around and meddling with him. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher's like, I rised up again, like, despite the big man knocking me out. This is where then he went right to the top corner ropes. This is where we got Pac to go for a duck, then a leapfrog when he went to the bottom corner ropes. But he went right back and looked like going for a baseball slide. But Pac sensed him like if he was a Super Saiyan. And then this is where he went right to the bottom corner rope, wasting no time, sending that sliding Hurricane Rana onto the former United Empire member. This is where we got Pac was like, it's not my first rodeo, boy. And this is where Claudio Castagnoli said, neither is mine. Like, he told Pac long time don't see right before he was trying to get ready to hit the swing when he tripped him right over. This is where he tried to spin around, but before he can even lift him up right on the air, he gets super kicked right into the face by Kyle when he got back in the ring. This is where we got. This is where then Claudio Castagnoli went to the left side. This is where we got Tomohiro Ishii then hit a back suplex when he went as soon as went right behind him. This is where then we got Pac and tried to go for a swinging kick, but this is where Tomohiro Ishii didn't hit a back suplex to him. Claudio tried to go for a clothesline to him, but this is where Tomohiro Ishii hits a back suplex to him. But this is where we got Claudio Castagnoli. I managed to got back up. This is where we got him throwing Ishii right back in the ring. This is where he hits the diving corkscrew dive right onto all three of his opponents in the number one contenders match. Claudio was like, and the world goes spinning around and around. This is where Claudio Castagnoli did say to the fan. This is where he got the offense for a little bit, for like a good couple of minutes, until we got it was him and Ishii in the ring until Ishii got him right up on the top rope. Claudio countered out of him. This is where when Pac and Kyle Fletcher got back up in the ring. This is where we got Pac on the diagonal side of the bottom right side with Fletcher, while Tomohiro and Claudio was in the upper left side. This is where we got Pac didn't go for a sunset flip on Kyle. He does it successfully. Same goes to the Swiss Superman. This is where we got both men, all four men, I should say, down to the ground. This is where we got Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle Fletcher got back up before Claudio and Pac was even up. And I was like, wow, like, how is that possible? Because they the one that slammed these guys. Like, these two were the one that slammed those guys. I don't understand how they seem like they got less of the impact of the sunset flip avalanche powerbomb. But this is where we got Kyle Fletcher that spin around Tomohiro Ishii when he was running his way right from the right side. It's where Ishii made a mistake. He did not know what move to hit, so that made it more easier for Kyle Fletcher to hit the spinning tombstone pile driver. I was like, man, like it must be unowed for AEW and New Japan wrestlers love doing the tombstone pile driver these days. And like, let's hope that that a certain dead man don't give out those cease and dismissal papers. I guess it's called papers for hitting the maneuver. Well, I'm not sure if he's the owner of the maneuver. Well, he may. Like, it depends. But either way, still got him to kick out. Like, Kyle at 2.7. This is where Kyle Fletcher was like, I thought for sure that was gonna be it. This is where everybody, including Don Callis, thought that was gonna be it too. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher to put up Ishii right into the bottom, the upper right corner, right onto the middle. This is where fans were saying this is awesome. I agree too. If they didn't have that Stampede match in these two the finals match, I'll say maybe this would have been the number one match of the night. Just saying, just hands down, like it would immediately got in the number one spot if it was just the average episode of the AEW Dynamite show. But anyways, this is where we got Tomohiro and Kyle was up in the air, started hitting some strikes right to each other's faces, playing wrestling tennis until Ishii won by hitting a headbutt right and knocking over Kyle Fletcher. This is where Claudio then struck him with a European uppercut. Then he grabbed onto Kyle Fletcher next. He started going for a Claudio swing, something that he was trying to do in the middle of the match with Pac. But he stopped him, but he's kind of got his revenge, started swinging him instead. This is where we got him swinging him around about at least a dozen times. This is where then we got no, I think it was double a dozen times. This is where then we got Claudio Castagnoli then going for a sharpshooter. This is where we got go for a sharpshooter. This is where then we got Pac then going up right up on the apron on the right side. This is where it goes up right on the top rope in the bottom right. This is where we got Claudio Castagnoli then going for, I believe, an elbow strike right onto the back of Kyle Fletcher, kind of stopping Claudio's sharpshooter submission hold. But at the same time, it was really. But anyways, this is where we got Claudio Castagnoli was still had Pac on the submission of the Kyle Fletcher on the sharpshooter, while Pac then decided to go for the The brutalizer, that's what it's called. Yeah, that's what he put on the brutalizer. As soon as he hit the elbow strike, he went right up on Kyle Fletcher's back, started squeezing him in like an abdominal stretch-like maneuver. That's where they're like I'm. And then this is where Claudio will start arguing with Pac, saying like I'm gonna win. No, I'm gonna win. Like no, I'm gonna win. No, I am gonna win. Like and there's nothing you gonna be. I know you gonna do about it. That's where they start going back and forth until Tomohiro Ishii like you Europeans need to shut the hell up and y'all acting like still acting like if y'all in the first grade. And this was like y'all get him on my last nerve with all this fighting nonsense. And he's like, and I'm gonna be the true winners. This is where it hits a full arm right to the face of Claudio, but Claudio was not getting phased like earlier, like when they were playing wrestling tennis. But this is where he got Claudio finally off him, and he hit him with a suplex onto the Swiss sideboard. Like finally, this is where then he went to the bottom corner rope, and he hit the clothesline from hell onto Pac. He nearly botched it, but slipping, but he managed to stay up and hit the clothesline. Tomohiro then thought he had Kyle Fletcher right where he wanted him. Went to the left side, hits that clothesline of death right onto Kyle Fletcher. It looked like it was about to be hit, but this is where Kyle got up and got his shoulders up and kick out at the final second of 2.999999999 double triple nine minus 0.0 away from being 3. This is where then Tomohiro Ishii was like, all right, like forget it, I'm gonna hit it on Claudio. Claudio's like, nope, like it's only bad enough you did it to me. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Hit the European uppercut onto Tomohiro Ishii. A matter of fact, he had 2 of them. That's where he hits a neutralizer onto Kyle Fletcher. But this is where we got packed in metal with Claudio. That's where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where they keep dragging each other's legs. Him by trying to pin on to Will Ospreay's best friend. This is where they start arguing once again. It seems like ever since they've been on AEW, it seemed like they cannot get along. I thought Claudio's biggest enemy in AEW was Eddie Kingston. Well, maybe that's his first, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have no other enemy. Well, I mean in kayfabe, they're like arch rivals. But this is where we got Claudio then shoves Pac while he went back and hit a big boot right to his midsection. This is where we got Claudio to follow that up with we'll try to go for a neutralizer, but this is where we got Tomohiro Ishii hits an axe handle and a German suplex right onto Claudio. This is where Pac then send him right to the bottom corner, hit a slingshot German suplex, bouncing off the bottom ropes face first, and then Claudio did the same when he tried to close on him out of the ring. This is where Pac was in the ring alone with with Kyle Fletcher. He hits the black arrow with his midsection hitting right into Kyle Fletcher's back rather than his midsection, like into the black arrow. Then he hits the brutalizer. He made him tap out. He gets the win by submission, and he's going to be facing Will Ospreay, and they're both in their home countries of England. And who is actually going to be winning this match at AEW All In? But that's only if Will Ospreay can retain next Wednesday. And I want to ask that question as well. Like, do you think MJF's going to win, or do you think Ospreay is going to remain as champion? I think Ospreay is going to retain. Like, regardless, I think he is, but I think there's going to be a twist. Like, with Ospreay against some help, like from out of nowhere, like it may look like that Daniel Garcia may not be showing up on next week's AEW Dynamite, but that's how do we not know? That's what they want us to believe. And then this is where we can see MJF's like a pinch away from winning, and then while the referee at least expecting he's going to try to hit the Dynamite Diamond Ring knockout onto Ospreay with the diamond ring on his hands, or on his finger, most specifically on his ring finger. This is where we'll try to hit it onto him, but this is where we get Daniel Garcia grabbing the away from him. This is where we can see him get some kind of revenge by low blowing him, and then Ospreay finish him off with either the C9 Tiger Driver or the Hidden Blade for the 1, 2, 3. And do you agree with me on that, or do you think it's going to be something different, like into the finish, like regardless on Ospreay retaining the international championship? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I just think that's what's going to happen, because it seems like all this attack is all part of a storyline with all this injuries. Like even though MJF did hit him hard, but at the same time, I don't think Garcia is going to be out of action for 6 to 12 months. Maybe that's what they want us to believe, to make it look like that he is injured, like only for Dennis Garcia to come back, and this is where they can make him super strong and super over than ever, and then keep building him up too as a future singles champion. Now, this is where we got a post-match promo from the Bastard. Well, that's going to be the only time I'm going to call him this, even though he does not mind because that's his nickname, of course. This is where then we got Pac was like safe to say, like things have not been going well for me recently, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since returning to AEW, like in March, I have made many bold poses, and I have suffered many humiliations, what is it, like right here. Like now, I don't know what I'm gonna do next, UC fans. What I do know, is this right here. It's all in season right now. And then the Bastard will not be denied in Wembley Stadium when I become new international champion. That's what he basically said. And he's like, and I can promise you that. So let this tonight's victory stand as a landing sand on what I'm gonna be doing at the biggest pay-per-view of all Elite Wrestling. And in this word, then he breathed in and breathed out, finishing off saying the Bastard, his words, not mine. He's like, he will be back. And this is where he dropped the mic. This is where he left the building. This is where then we got Hangman Adam Page kind of did a high school shoulder bump or something like that. Onto Renee Paquette with him announcing. But this is where then Hangman Adam Page kind of did a bump on the Renee Paquette, with Hangman walking past and just unnecessary bumped into her when Renee Paquette was trying to interview somebody. This is where we got Renee Paquette was very ticked off, and this was the first time I actually see her be more angry than she ever was in her position as a backstage journalist in AEW. This is where she was like, "Excuse me, Hangman. That was very disrespectful what you just did. Hangman, excuse me. What? He's like, can you just give me a little respect here for once? What I'm trying to do here for AEW, and you're here being absolutely unprofessionally rude." And then this is where and I would totally appreciate that. Even for you, this is where Hangman Page did not say nothing, and he did not show any emotions. Only just wanted to talk to his fellow elite boys, the Young Bucks, by banging on their door. This is where Renee Paquette's like, I'm gonna lead this off into a warning. If the next time you do this, then you're gonna be in big trouble, and you're gonna get triple times the punishment than you had previously. This is where we got Okada answering the door. This is where Okada's like, hello, can I help you? And then this is where Hangman Page was like, I need to speak to Nicholas and Matthew. This is where what's his name? Okada then said, nope, they're not in the room right now. But I can leave them a message. Can I help you? There's something that you want from them that I can tell. This is where Okada must have been lying, because this is where the Young Bucks stick came out. This is where he's like, oh, it's all right. We know, Hangman. You should know that. We're glad to see you. That's what they said to the cowboy that loved calling himself Sugar Honey Iced Tea. This is where Nicholas then said, can we help you with something, Hangman? And this is where the Hangman Page said, I'll do it. And then the reason why he said this, because Swerve Strickland happens to be in the Blood and Guts match, but not teaming with the Elite, much rather than facing against the Elite by teaming with the likes of Mark Briscoe. who's gonna win this match? And I was getting very excited. Like they all confirmed that there will be it's gonna be a big Team Elite versus Team AEW match at AEW's Blood and Guts event at the Blood and Guts match at the end of July. And who's gonna walk out victorious onto this special episode of AEW Dynamite? Like I guess you could call this is a technical pay-per-view, even though it's gonna be on their Wednesday night show. But yeah, this is where then Okada then check on the Young Bucks. Are you guys okay? Like, and this is where the Young Bucks like, yeah, we're good. And this is where then Matthew Jack's like, some tells me we're gonna do just fine. And do you think they're gonna be absolutely fine? Well, I'm not sure about being physically like at the end of the month with Blood and Guts, but I'll tell you, for now, they seem very fine. But yeah, this is where we got a celebration segment, like finally be full prop, like he finally got a proper celebration segment because this said wrestler was supposed to have this 7 nights ago. Well, she technically did, but it was all like I guess it got all stolen away from her when Britt Baker was when she made her return on AEW Dynamite, and then and break her silence since returning at Forbidden Door. And this particular female's wrestler that's going to be celebrating with her latest double title win about 10 days ago is the CEO herself, Mercedes Moné. And then this is where we had the TBS championship around her waist. This is where then she had the New Japan Strong Women's Championship around her shoulders, like until she lifted up right up over her head. This is where then we got her rolling up right onto the bottom apron. This is where then she went to the ring. This is where she placed the New Japan Strong Women's Championship right onto this little title table, I guess you could say, this belt table where it holds like WWE would have, like when they presented like whether if it's in a championship match or like introducing the new champions that like with a new design or whatever the scenario may be. But this is where we got the CEO herself address the Calgary fans saying, "Oh, Calgary," and then it's where fans are like, yeah, and then half were cheering, the other half was booing, like because there's the rumor going around that she's gonna be turning heel. And I would say it wouldn't really be a bad idea to do so because there's some fans that are turning on her, which I understand why, but some say it's because she's not a great talker. But you don't have to be a good promo cutter in order to be the greatest of all time. Like yeah, and also another reason because like most of them are New York fans, and she's from Boston, and the basketball teams. Like for those that are aware, that the Knicks and the Celtics are arch rivals in the Eastern Conference division, and then that's the other reason why they're not a fan of the CEO, But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. But anyway, this is where then she said, "Say hello to your favorite CEO," which we got a mixed reaction from the fans. This is where then we got her continuing saying, like, "I am so honored to be with you guys and to celebrate my history making as a double championship, with my double championship victory 10 days ago at Forbidden Door." And huge shout out to my boys, my favorite boys, like the EVPs of All Elite Wrestling, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, for that actually have security tonight. So, because one thing for sure, I will not be interrupted like I was last Wednesday. And then this is where those half fans, like we only can hear them booing her, saying like, "Boo, like you are horrible." And this is where then she continues with her ignoring them. This is where she was like I'm not gonna. Again, yeah, this is my past, my present, and my future because these two titles that's in my possession, and everybody here knows that I am the past and the present and the future. He's like, because I am the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. And then this is where she gave a big smile, like she's the female Jericho. I don't know why I compared her to the teacher of the learning tree, but this is the way she smiled, like the way she said that. Is where fans are like, "Boo!" And I was like, I was like, yeah, like they're making her looking like the Jericho of the female division. This is where she was like, and as for Britt Baker goes, like, you better wake up for your stupid little fantasy of facing me at AEW All In this August, because I'm telling you, sister, it's not gonna happen. Because even if you do face me, I'm gonna give you the way more than a couple of. I'm gonna give you way more than a broken disc and a stroke or something like that. This is where then she said, I'm gonna make you be paralyzed in your whole entire body by biscuit, iced tea, chicken hot cakes. And no, she was not talking about a breakfast chicken sandwich like with a cold refreshing drink. But anyway, this is where then we got. And this is where she started referring herself as the nicknames, like other than CEO, saying the history maker, the star maker, what else the nickname that she said? Like she was naming all of them, but until we heard somebody's theme music was playing, it was none other than the dentist slash wrestler, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. This is where she came out the ring and interrupted the CEO, and this is where she chased her out of there with this very hilarious run that the CEO did, like when she was running out. This is where she was like, "You were not supposed to be out there, and why did the security guards not stop you?" This is where I was saying the same thing. Like I was like, "Yeah, like I agree with Simon Miller. Like the security guards totally suck. Like, and he should know because he was once a security guard for the last time they were in Wembley Stadium for AEW All In. But anyways, yeah, that's another story for another day. But yeah, they just got clobbered by Britt Baker. And yeah, she hardly weighs anything. Like it shows that the security guards are weak as hell. Well, at least in kayfabe, I should say, of course. Like because yeah, they're allowing them to beat them up because that's all part of the job. Of course, it's a work. But you get what I'm saying. Like yeah, that's my point. Like they absolutely suck. Like and this is where we got Rebecca saying, "Oh yes, I am going to be facing you for the TBS Championship at AEW All In. Maybe I'll go after for your New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Like so, keep that warm for me for the next month and a half because I'm going after them." This is where Britt Baker got the big standing ovation once again. Like last week, like with her definitely being the baby face in the feud, which I guess it's for the best because, yeah, they're going to be mostly cheering for her because, one, she's back, two, she's a fan favorite, and three, I'll say three, like at this point, like in her career, she should stay as a baby face at least at the time until, like, if the fans, like somewhat turn on her, like how MJF would say, yeah. But and also the CEO Mercedes Moné play a better heel, which that's what most people say, especially on YouTube, which I would agree in a way because she know how to play a cocky, arrogant character very well, more than she can play as a like a hype up smiley face baby face or something like that. Y'all don't know what to describe her, but yeah, you get the point. But let me know in the comments below who's exactly going to be winning the New Japan Strong Women's and the TBS Championship at All In, like if it's for both titles. I'm more likely assuming it's going to be for the TBS Championship because this is the AEW feud and not likely a New Japan AEW crossover feud because they're both under an AEW contract. So I think it'll be most likely for the TBS. But I mean, I wouldn't doubt that they'll put the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. That's only if Britt Baker wants that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see like when they start building more up on the road to All In. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments down below or who's gonna be the winner. I'm not sure who's gonna. I'm not sure if I should answer this because they're both great, and I can see either one could walk out of All In at Wembley Stadium as the women's double champions, I should say. But moving on, we got the main event to one women's angle to another, but it's not an angle nor a feud, rather than being a finals tournament for the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Or I just repeated myself. I don't know why I just did that. But yeah, it was Willow the Pillow Nightingale the Nightingale taking on Mariah May. And then this is where we got this is where we start off the match with Pillow and the protege of the Timeless One. Then started grappling out until Willow Nightingale got into a back to belly maneuver. This is where she was trying to go for a dragon suplex onto Mariah, but Mariah flipped right out of it. That's where then she tried to This where then she tried, but this where we got Willow the Pillow Nightingale the Nightingale then start playing it smart by hanging on to her, start hitting the full Nelson lock like you see the female Bobby Lashley and the Chris Master. This where then but this is where then she turned into a gut wrench power bomb, which I'm not sure if it was a smart idea to do it just right away. If I'll say if Mariah May was knocked out for the count, then maybe I would suggest that. But this is where we got Mariah May hang on to the ropes because she still had her consciousness. This is where then the Pillow's like, all right, you won this round, like, but you're not gonna win the second round. This is where they spin around like they just got started. This is where they grapple for the second straight time. It's where they're trying to fight to win. This is where we got Willow the Pillow sending Mariah May right to the upper right side. This is where she let go of her once the referee started counting until three. This is where Willow's like, okay, like I'm off of her. This is where she hits a stinging knife edge chop right onto the chest of Mariah May. This is where then we got. That's where Mariah May's like this is the most painful thing I ever experienced in this company. This is where we got Willow Nightingale try to go for a splash right onto Mariah, but Mariah ducks into a leap. She runs right to the bottom corner rope, but she gets ended up with a hit with a shoulder tap.